Tucked away in Upper Arlington, La Chatelaine offers a slice of French fare to Columbus, along with its locations in Worthington and Dublin. The bakery air is filled daily with aromas of artisanal breads and pastries made with the best ingredients available, and the dining menu offers authentic, rustic dishes straight out of a French cookbook. It's the perfect setting to meet with a group of ladies today who have a special connection to the American Revolution. All of you are members of the DAR, and first thing I'd like to know, what are the requirements to become a member?
Well, I think the main requirement is to prove your lineage. That requires a proof of some way, either through a will or through death certificates. I think those are probably the most common methods to show that each generation is linked.
Okay, so you had an ancestor who was a Minuteman?
Yes.
All right, and what about you, Sharon, your ancestor?
I have two. One was a captain who served at Valley Forge and Brandywine. The other one was from Maryland, and he simply signed an oath of allegiance to the state of Maryland at the time of the Revolution. You just need something to show that your ancestor was a patriot. They don't necessarily have to have served in the military.
So Megan, what about you?
Well, I have an ancestor, John Porter, who I think had lived in Maryland but served out of Bedford County, Pennsylvania, under Paxton, I believe. But that's the line that I've proved so far. But I have another ancestor that I'm trying to find.
Tell me, what is it that your organization does overall? What is your mission? What are some of the core things that you do?
We have three, right? God, home, and country. So any event that we would plan or help would fall under one of those categories. It's very broad.
One of the things our chapter does is we host what we call a reception or a tea twice a year for new citizens. As people become citizens of the United States, we're there for their swearing-in ceremonies and then welcome them as citizens.
And Megan, what was it that drew you to join the Daughters of the American Revolution?
What drew me first was the genealogical aspect. I had heard about the records that they had and thought this was a great opportunity to see what records they might have that might help me with my search. And upon pulling up the website, I said, well, there are a lot of things on this website and the organization stands for that I felt very passionately about, such as the patriotism and supporting our servicemen and women, both serving overseas currently, but also the veterans who had served previously, promoting the education.
Now, as far as the education, does that mean your members go out and they talk to schools or talk to civic groups about history? Or
You can kind of match it to your own experiences. For example, I'm a retired teacher, and one of our committees is literacy. And so our chapter began collecting books for the YWCA homeless shelter, and we provided the children who were there in the shelter with over 400 new books. We also have essay contests for students who will write about some happening in history. We'll have a chapter winner and a state winner and so on, all the way up to the national winner.
I know from its founding until fairly recent times, the DAR did not accept people of color. It was an all-white organization. I also read that changed, and I wonder if any of you could address what it was that caused that change to open it up to African Americans, to Native Americans, to people of color.
I think a lot of it is the changing in society from when it was first founded. It was founded back in the 1890s, so it's a different time than it was then. I know that there are quite a few African American members, and we're all looking forward to 250 years from the signing of the Declaration, so we're hoping that more people will decide they'd like to join us, because we are so different in our viewpoints. We're not all the same ethnic background or even the same political background. We're all very different, but we all come together to work together for a common cause.
Why is it important to all of you to preserve that legacy of your ties to the American Revolution? What is it? Anybody?
I think that all Americans are proud of the American Revolution. We love the story. We love the idea of it being for freedom for all people. And so if you have an ancestor that was involved in some little way or a big way, it just gives you more ownership to that whole story.
Well, it's been great talking to all of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And it's great to know more about this organization and what it is you all are trying to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Right.